The perfect crime. Imagine you want to commit the perfect crime. You want to execute a flawless plan where you cannot be sent to prison no matter how overwhelming the evidence is against you. You might think you need to flee the country, hide in a remote jungle, or disappear into international waters. But you don't. You just need to take a road trip to the United States. Hidden deep within the breathtaking landscapes of Yellowstone National Park lies a 50-square-mile strip of dense, isolated wilderness. On a map, it looks like just another beautiful patch of pine trees and mountains. But in the eyes of the United States legal system, this exact location is a terrifying anomaly. It is widely known among lawyers and lawmakers as the zone of death. If you commit a crime here, whether it's theft, kidnapping, or even murder, there is a massive, unfixable loophole in the United States Constitution that technically makes it impossible for the government to put you in prison. And the most chilling part of all, the government has known about this for decades, and they still haven't fixed it. To understand how a piece of land in modern America could become a lawless safe haven, we have to look at how Yellowstone National Park was created. When Yellowstone was established in 1872, it became the world's first national park. Because it was so massive, its borders naturally spilled over into 3 different states: Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. But the federal government made a very specific logistical decision. They decided to put the entirety of Yellowstone National Park under the legal jurisdiction of the District of Wyoming. This means if you get in trouble anywhere in the park, you deal with the federal court in Wyoming. This seems like a simple administrative choice, but it collided disastrously with the Sixth Amendment of the United States Constitution. The Sixth Amendment contains something called the Vicinage Clause. This clause guarantees that if you are accused of a crime, you have the absolute constitutional right to a trial by a jury. But not just any jury. The jury must be made up of people who live in the exact state and the exact federal district where the crime was committed. This is the rule that breaks the system.
Let's do the math on this terrifying geographical glitch. If you commit a crime in the Idaho portion of Yellowstone National Park, the Sixth Amendment demands that your jury must consist of people who live in the state of Idaho and the District of Wyoming, since Wyoming holds jurisdiction over the whole park. So, to form a legal jury, the court must find citizens who live in that exact 50-square-mile overlap, the Idaho section of Yellowstone. But there is one massive problem. The population of that exact 50-square-mile strip of wilderness is exactly 0. Nobody lives there. There are no homes, no towns, not even a permanent ranger station. Just bears, wolves, and trees. Because the population is 0, it is mathematically and physically impossible to form a jury. If you cannot form a legal jury, you cannot have a legal trial. And in the United States legal system, if you cannot be given a constitutionally valid trial, you cannot be convicted. You walk away completely free.
This terrifying loophole wasn't discovered by a criminal mastermind, but by a law professor named Brian Colt in 2004. He was researching the technicalities of the Sixth Amendment when he realized the catastrophic error Congress had made. Alarmed, Professor Colt wrote a 14-page legal paper detailing the zone of death and sent copies to the Department of Justice, Congress, and lawmakers in Idaho and Wyoming. He pleaded with them to fix it. All they had to do was redraw the district lines. It would take an afternoon in Congress to solve. But the government ignored him. They thought it was just a silly hypothetical scenario that would never actually happen. Until it did. In 2005, a man named Mike Belderain illegally shot an elk in the Montana portion of Yellowstone. This portion also had a tiny population, making it extremely difficult to form a jury. When Belderain was caught, he had read Professor Colt's paper. He stood before a federal judge and invoked the zone of death loophole, demanding a jury from the Montana portion of the park. The court panicked. they realized Beldorain was right. Fearing that this case would expose the loophole to the entire world and invite a wave of criminals to Yellowstone, the judge essentially refused to acknowledge the constitutional argument and pressured Beldorain into a plea deal to quickly close the case.
To this day, the Idaho portion, the true zone of death, with a population of 0, remains completely untested. No one has committed a major felony there yet. Professor Kalt continues to warn the government, but Congress still refuses to pass the simple legislation required to fix the borders. The 50-square-mile void sits there, silent, empty, and waiting. It is a ticking time bomb in the American legal system. If someone with dark intentions invites you on a remote camping trip to the Idaho side of Yellowstone National Park, you might want to decline the invitation. Because in the deep woods of the zone of death, the Constitution won't protect you. What do you think will happen when someone finally tests this loophole with a major crime? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into America's weirdest legal mystery, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more. Stay safe out there.